Welcome everyone. In today's session, we'll be discussing about the poem Epitaph by Katherine Phillips. Katherine Phillips was one of the most interesting female poets of the 17th century, and she formed a literary circle of friends known as the Society of Friendship. The speciality of this circle is all the members of the circle adopted a classical pen name with which they have written their poetry. And Katherine Phillips has taken up the name of Orinda and other in addition to writing poetry, she was an outstanding linguist and completed many translations of verse and drama from the French, and she died in 1664 of smallpox. So the poem Epitaph marks the tragic loss of her son Hector Phillips, who died 40 days after his birth. The poem begins in a very conventional manner, contemplating on the transience of human existence, especially the youth and the beauty, and then talks about the celebration of the birth and arrival of her son to her life. And then she is trying to, it's an attempt to renew her faith in life. She's trying to justify the loss of her child, but at the same time, she is questioning whether there is a space for hope on what on earth deserves our trust. That's what she is asking here. So the poem goes like this: on her son HP at Saint Saint's Church, where her body also lies interred. So the first line of this poem is: what on earth deserves our trust? Youth and beauty both are dust. So the poem starts with a question: what we can trust on this earth, because we all are earthly beings, right? We are bound to this earth, we born to this earth, and what we can trust in this world, what gives guarantee to your existence here in this world, what is a or is there any space for hope or optimism in this life or trust in this life? Because she trusted something and this trust is gone, that may be forcing her to ask this question here. And then she's talking about youth and beauty, because we all are so proud to say that, okay, I'm in the prime of my youth, okay, I'm beautiful. The notions that binds human beings always to pride, youth and beauty. So whether you are a beautiful person or whether you are in the pinnacle of your youthness or whatever it is, everything, our human existence may lead to a future. So the transience of human existence is mentioned through these lines: what on earth deserves our trust? Youth and beauty both are dust. So once you're born as a human being in this world, you have to face the inevitable hour, because our life, our destiny is not in our hands. Long we gathering are with pain, what one moment calls a cane. 7 years childless marriage past, a son is born at last. So next to four line, she's talking about the struggle that she has gone through. So she was waiting for a son or a kid, let's say, waiting for a kid. So long we gathering are with pain, what one moment calls again. So a long awaited one came to their life after 7 years. It was a beautiful son. The son is born. But still, we are, when we look back to that moment, that precious moment in our life, it injects pain always. It always initiates pain. And because he was so exactly lined and fair, full of good spirits, mean and air, as a long life promised, yet in less than 6 weeks dead. So the next description is that of how the boy looks like, how her son looks like. So he was blind, he was fair, he looks very promising. He seems like he is going to live in this world for long. So that kind of promise or expectation was given to them by his birth. But yet, in less than 6 weeks, he did. He loved this world. He had to leave this world in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, even though it is a shorter duration, but in the memory of Katherine, in the memory of a mother, that 6 week is a huge, it's a long duration. And too promising, too great a mind, in so small room to be confined. So this is the desperate attempt from the mother to justify the death of her own son, telling why the child has to leave, why the child has to die. It is because his mind is too promising and his life is too promising. His talents cannot be confined to the small room. The small room refers to the earthly world. He is not fit enough to serve or dwell here in this earthly world because his talents, his aspirations, his the qualities of the child is too vast. His mind is too great. Therefore, as fits in heaven to dwell. So, where is his place? Where he has to live, his place is heaven. Because we know that heaven is always above earthly world. So, her son or Hector, he is not fit enough to serve here or to live here in this earthly world. His place is there in the heaven. He quickly broke the prison's shell, so the subtle alchemist can't with Hermes resist. So here the poet is drawing a reference to the Greek mythology by telling Hermes seal as a seal that can keep containers, vessels airtight. So nothing will go, nothing can come out of the vessel. It is sealed with Hermes seal. But here, even that cannot, restrict her son Hector to this earthly world. She quickly broke the shell, the prison shell, the earthly confinement, and moved towards heaven. And the powerful spirits at love fight, and it will bid him long good night. And so it's a long good night. The long good night refers to the death. So he, for the in this earthly world, for the people who are behind him, it's a long good night that he is having. He won't come back to life in this earthly world, but the mother is convincing herself that he is moving towards another life in heaven. And so the sun, if it arise, half so glorious as his eyes. So what a comparison that the mother is making, like the eyes of the child, even the sun, the most powerful, the most glorious one in this world, it is as half glorious compared to her son's eyes. Like this infant takes a shroud buried in the morning cloud. That talks about how the mother feels about the death of the child and how he has taken to the burial ground. So finally, the poem ends with a comparison between the glorious sun that is obscured by the cloud and the infant wrapped in his burial sheet. So this is actually written for her firstborn. The child was lived only for 6 weeks after his birth, and the poet has used her powers as a writer to memorialize her young son and his early death. And she used her writing as a way to heal from the tremendous loss of her child. And she wanted him to be able to live forever, which was a common reason to write poetry. And she wanted others to remember her son, even though he lived such a short life. This is a lovely piece framed in emotions, love, and the bond between a mother and a child. Thank you.